Okay, thank you. I'd like to call this meeting of the Douglas Library Board of Trustees to order. This is a special meeting. I guess we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance and the roll call. So let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance and the roll call. And Pledge of Allegiance,
To pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. And now, Kevin, if you could do the roll call.
Sure. Dale Bland.
Here.
Peter Casarella.
Here.
Sue Porter.
Here.
Sorry, I'm looking for everybody bouncing around. Beth Schmeisel.
Good morning.
And we're missing Colleen, we are missing Althea, and we are missing MA.
Okay, and of course I'm here, I'm Pat Ayers. Okay, yeah, okay, good. All right, we're going to, can I have a vote to dispense with the meeting of any minutes?
So moved, Madam Chair.
I second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, then I will move on to the agenda items. The first agenda item is to approve the 2022-2023 operating budget proposal. Okay, we have a new copy of the budget, which Kevin was so kind to send around to everybody. Has everyone had a chance to review it?
Yes.
Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments?
I spoke with Gail yesterday afternoon, and she just told me that she would feel more comfortable if the Sunday hours were submitted as a separate service addition as opposed to part of the proposed budget here. I put them in so they're fairly easy to kind of take out and
Okay.
leave if we wanted to, but that was her preference.
Okay,
And also, just to be clear, this does remove a little bit of funding from what you saw in your previous packet.
Okay,
To meet the quote of the lower quote of the cleaning service that we currently dealing with.
Donna, is that possible for us to do the budget with the other items attached?
If it's a new initiative, it should be submitted separately as
Okay,
a new
good.
initiative. So
Okay.
the total cost of what we're proposing for Sunday hours, it should be a completely separate item.
Okay.
And just a comment on that. The numbers in Kevin's budget are the bulk of the numbers, but there are other areas of the budget that would be affected by doing that. So payroll taxes, some workers' comp numbers. There's other areas of the budget that do provide, and not just for that part-time payroll, but just the budget overall. There's not everything that you see on this one page in that total is the library's budget. We have a lot of areas in our overall budget that include support for the library. So capital projects, full-time payroll and benefits, all the property and workers' comp insurances, payroll taxes for part-time payroll, the computer services. There's a lot of things that don't show up here.
Okay, so this is what we are requesting besides the other services
Right,
we get from the
right.
town.
Right.
Okay, and you said that if we remove the Sunday hours, there will be other adjustments to this? Besides on this
No.
particular, no, on this one?
No. I just wanted you to know that when we ask for whatever the total number is for the Sunday hours, let's say it's $15,000 that we're asking for to add Sunday hours. That number would be different than that. It would be a little bit higher because in other areas of our budget, we have to increase.
Okay,
So if we added Sunday hours, our payroll tax line would have to go up. Our workers' comp line would go up.
okay.
it's a little bit of a snowball effect. It's not all in the library's budget.
Okay, does everyone understand that? Did anyone have any questions about amending the budget?
I had just one question of Kevin. Kevin, from Andy's perspective, have you been asked to remove from our budget the $10,000 representing Sunday hours?
No, he didn't ask that of me. It's more like 23,000, but he did not ask that of me.
He did not. Okay.
Okay. So can I?
But
I'm
the
sorry.
the directive that went out to the department heads was that if there are any new initiatives, they should be notated separately. So we're
Okay.
looking for, this year, we're looking for a continuation budget, which is moving forward all services, not necessarily a zero, but whatever increases are needed. But if there are any new initiatives, then they should be presented separately so we can see what that total is.
Okay, then. Could I have a motion to accept the amended budget, to bring it back to a continuation budget, and to remove the proposal for Sunday hours as a new initiative to be submitted to the town separately?
I so move.
Could I have a second on that?
I'll
Second.
second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Could-
Oh, did you want to have discussion? I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make it clear that we're voting on a budget of $323,831, which includes a separate line item for Sunday hours of $10,361. I just want to make sure everybody's on board with the numbers.
Okay, and now I don't understand what you're saying. So the 10th, we're removing the 13,533 that's listed here, and an additional $10,000, which would make it $23,533. Is that correct?
No, I thought and I don't have it in front of me, the budget that Kevin sent out yesterday had Sunday hours at 10,361.
So it's 23,000, it's a little over 23. It's 10,061 to the building maintenance line, and then another 13,000 to the part-time payroll line.
Okay, I see. So basically, we would be moving $10,000 plus 13,533. Kevin, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Does everyone understand that now?
Yes.
Okay, everybody happy? No questions, whatever? Okay, we've had a motion. We have a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is adopted. Okay. Now, do we have to have a motion to have this submitted to the town, Donna?
No, I think you should probably vote on whether or not to submit the request for the Sunday hours as a budget initiative.
Okay, I thought I tried to include that in my original motion. That I said that continuing budget with the supplemental for the Sunday hours. Should I put the exact amount in?
No, I don't think so.
As long as that first motion is clear, that the board is recommending Sunday hours. If the motion is clear,
Yeah. Who, I guess I don't know, there's nobody to read back what we said, is there? Okay. Was everybody clear on that?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, no one had any objections or thoughts about that. So everybody is clear on the motion was to put in the continuing budget with the supplemental items as new initiatives for Sunday hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay, good. All right, then moving on to the next item is Maple Fest 2022. And I'm going to throw that over to Kevin.
I attended a meeting on Monday with some of the other groups involved with Maple Fest 2022. It'll be taking place on the third week of March. I believe I didn't have the date written right in front of me. From Saturday and Sunday. So the Maple Fest is requesting use of the parking lot during that whole weekend. So Friday, the parking lot will not be affected. They'll be doing all their setup starting Saturday morning. The basement floor of the building will be open for Maple Fest. They are using the community room to host arts vendors. So they usually fill up that space for like a little craft fair. And we'll also have our bathrooms open on the first floor for public use, although there are porta potties available outside as well. So for the time being, that's kind of the plan for Maple Fest. I have a janitorial person that'll be here both days to make sure the bathrooms stay in good order and to be able to handle any messes that may arise. And we do keep at least one staff member on just as also just to kind of deal with any building issues that may arrive during the entirety of the festival. I've been entertaining the idea of perhaps opening up on Saturday during our normal hours as a way to like give some new people a chance to visit the library, see what it looks like while we're open, and then closing for Sunday hours as normal. But haven't made a decision 100% on that. I'd like to hear the board weigh in on that idea.
Now, you're suggesting that the library be open during Maple Fest? Is that your suggestion?
That's my suggestion. I think it's a nice way to show off the building. You know, we've done a lot of nice upgrades to it. And over the course of the weekend, we'll probably have close to 8,000 people come through. So if we're open on Saturday, it's possible 4,000 to 5,000 people will have a chance to be exposed to the library. And a lot of those aren't regular users of ours. Some of them don't live in town, some of them won't be interested, but if there are families that are coming through to Maple Fest because it's a family event and they don't have library cards yet, I think it'd be a nice thing to have the building open, maybe have some coloring stations, kind of, you know, self-directed crafts available and in the children's department, and just have people be able to tour it and look through it. So that would be my thought. I think it'd be good for, also, I think it just looks nicer. You know, it's the events at the library building. I think us being closed sends a little bit of like a message that you're not welcome. And I'd rather not send that message.
Okay, I had a couple of questions. Is this going to be just regular library staff except for janitorial?
Yeah.
Okay, and will that be enough people to supervise the number of people that could be going through the library?
I think so. I think the number of people that'll be coming to the library, I mean, it's not going to be all 5,000. I think it'll be busier than normal. I think you'll have people browsing the Friends shelf and making transactions there. So I think it'll be a little overwhelming, but I don't think we necessarily need more staff. I mean, I would say there will be the part-time staff normally there on a Saturday, plus 1 to 2 full-timers. So there'll be a little bit more staff than normal.
Okay, are we going to be a bathroom site?
Yeah, we'll end up being a bathroom site. That's kind of unavoidable.
Okay, and if we're closed, we're not a bathroom site?
If we're closed, bathrooms are still being used on the basement floor.
Okay, so that wouldn't make any difference.
No, if it's cold, we'll end up being a little more of a warming center. I think people will be taking refuge in the building, which perhaps they kind of need that space anyway. So something else that we can provide. But yeah, I would anticipate the second and third floor bathrooms getting a little bit more of a heavy usage. We do have janitorial on, so they should be able to keep an eye on that.
Okay,
And then we'll put signs up saying that, you know, no eating, no drinking in the building, just to try and tamp down any.
that's going to be hard to enforce with all the snacks out there.
Right.
You know, are you concerned about a lot of people tramping through and making a mess of our new improvements?
I'm not particularly concerned about that because I think that the improvements were made to be used. So I kind of see, you know, anytime somebody comes in, there's a chance of making a mess, or they walk through mud, or they're, you know, they have a drink or something with them. So I see that on a larger scale, but I think it's worth the effort, worth the risk.
Now, are you going to put out signs either way to have people sign in for library cards?
Yeah, so normally we have a table out that we can do library cards at, and we kind of hand out some information about upcoming events. So
Can
if
we-
the building
can
is
we-
open, we probably wouldn't have an extra table, but we would put some signage out encouraging people to get library cards.
Can we put signage out saying all the wonderful things that have happened in the library this year and all the wonderful things that have been done?
Yeah, we can, sure. I figure
I mean,
maybe
you know,
we can
like,
make,
yeah.
we can make old newsletters available, that sort of thing. Be
You
easy
know,
to,
and something
put
like,
through.
this is what your library has achieved this year, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that would look really good.
yeah.
Not necessarily a handout, but some sort of big poster, if, you know, so people would say, ooh, and be impressed with your work, which is always good. Okay.
Jonathan?
Can I have just a quick comment? I know we had mentioned this a few months back, but if we could update the trifold brochure
Mhm.
that talks about the library and the different support groups, the board, the association, and the friends, that would be a good handout.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
we may be able to drum up some new membership in the support organizations.
Yeah, I've got
Okay.
that file, so I have it available to update.
Thank you.
Now, is that good? How much of a cost will that be?
I haven't priced it out as far as getting it printed off-site.
We can print it, we can print it
on-site.
here.
Oh,
We could print
cool.
it here.
Great, great. So, all right. That's good. Okay. Now, anyone else have any comments or questions?
Is this something that the Friends could help out with? Or I don't know if they're planning to do anything or not.
They normally
Kevin?
have a table out to sell items, and they normally set up where the piano is in that landing room in front of the community room. They've told me they would appreciate it if the building were open. It would make their lives a lot easier because then they don't have to set up anywhere different. They can
Mhm.
just use their existing shelves. They'll probably have a presence on Saturday. I think they're having some trouble getting volunteers to do it for, to have more than one or two people there. So I wouldn't anticipate them being much of a help, but I would ask that they assist to at least kind of take the pressure off the increased number of sales that they're going to be making. So it's not all
Okay.
library staff handling that.
Okay.
And then also they can have their list of when they're having their book sales available.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At their table, they could have that, or you could post something. You know, so people, and maybe a little handout you think you guys could put together?
Well, they have their membership brochures probably.
That would be good.
And usually they're bookmarks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay,
the
'cause, you
bookmarks
know,
have the dates on it as well for the sales for the year.
Right.
one of the things I think you should be emphasizing, and I always do it wrong every year, is when you can contribute materials for the sale, because I always miss the date when I can bring down my boxes. So if you can also make sure that it's clear when people can drop things off and up to what date for the what sale.
Oh, they can do it anytime for any
Anytime.
sale. I mean, if they end up doing it a little bit late for the current sale, it just gets applied to the next sale. So there's really nothing
Okay,
negative
good.
about it. It just sits for a couple more months.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or comments? And what do people think about this idea?
I think it's a good idea, I mean, to promote the library.
I always think it's a good idea to have the library open during the sale. I agree with what Kevin said, that it's just I forgot how you said it, Kevin, but it's welcoming, it's shows friendliness, and it's encouraging. It brings people in, sometimes people who've never been in the library before or rarely come. So I'm in full support of it. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Peter,
I-
sorry. Go ahead.
I have some concerns opening the collection floors. And my concerns are all the hard work that all the people in all the departments and offices of town that have helped us through the years to get to where we are in terms of clogged drains, parking lots, carpet, flooring. HVAC system, and ultimately a new roof. I just want to preserve that and protect that investment. I am concerned that something's going to happen to the carpet or somebody's going to spill something. And it's just going to set us back as opposed to move us forward. So I would prefer not to have the collection floors open, but certainly to keep the community room open.
Now, when you say collection floors, you mean the main floors of the library where the materials are, reference room, library, magazine resources, and the stacks, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is you come in the entrance, you walk 5 or 6 feet, there's a plastic yellow chain that blocks anyone from going upstairs, but certainly allows people to take a left and go downstairs.
Okay. Any thoughts on that proposal? Is
If
there-
none of
go
the
ahead.
board members have anything to say, I do feel that the town believes that library is the heart of the community, and we feel we should showcase it. And this is an opportunity to do that. And I understand Peter's concerns with, possible damage or issues, but, that's one of the reasons why when we installed the new flooring, we went with the carpet squares or carpet tiles rather than, the regular carpeting, so that if we had stains or spills, we could easily replace. So we have janitorial services on duty that day, all day. And I think just the open hours, the regular library open hours on Saturday, I think we should do that.
Is there a way
We went years ago, we closed the library completely during Maple Fest because we didn't want it trashed.
Sure.
But that was before we had, the sewers or the water. The water was the issue. But I think now we should be showcasing that building.
I wonder if we could put a sign, going up the stairs to the main library. No food or drink.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a way we could enforce that too, somebody keeping an eye out for that, that might cause less of a problem. Because, kids are going to have sticky stuff. Kids always have sticky stuff.
But, put a trash can on, at that landing so that, people make sure that they either, dispose of their stuff so that they're not walking around by the books and so forth.
Okay. And Kevin, is there a way that the staff could be trained to tell people not to do it without, insulting them or making them feel like idiots?
Yeah, of course, we can have them gently remind them. It's just a matter of compliance. And I think there's plenty of spaces downstairs too, if people want to eat inside. So my only concern is the reading room becoming a cafeteria. But
Right.
I think that we can avoid the worst of that happening.
Okay. Peter, does that address any of your concerns?
I respect everyone's opinion. I understand.
I mean, is there any other suggestions you would like to perhaps do, as a protective mechanism? I mean, we can't put the entire thing in plastic wrap,
No.
but is there, any other, ideas that might help to protect the library? We're going to have a trash can. We're going to have a sign. We're going to have staff members watching out for food and drink. I don't know if there's really anything else we can do. Where, if go
I
ahead.
have a question. Will the Maple Fest committee be assigning various groups the opportunity to utilize the community room with their exhibits, with whatever?
My understanding was just going to be the friends. Is that true, Kevin?
Well, it's any vendor that wants to be a part of the Maple Fest can apply to be a part of the Maple Fest. I know that they're looking for more groups to sign up and do things. I think any group could, have a space in the community room if they wanted to. As far as using the whole space for an event, I think that's really going to depend on how many vendors that they get. For now, I think that the plan is to make that a vendor space, and that there won't be room to really do proper events inside of it. But if registration ends up being a little bit lighter, and my understanding is thus far it's been a little bit light, it's possible that they may be open to that, but that's really Diane's decision.
Okay, so that was discussed at the meeting when you went to the meeting for the Maple Fest committee, right?
Well, Diane just kind of put out her plan for it. I didn't inquire about extra events happening in the community space because that's her current plan.
Okay, great. All right. Are there any other questions or comments? Okay. I think I would like a motion that the library is going to participate in Maple Fest, is going to be open during the Maple Fest hours as Kevin suggested, and that Kevin's plan on having staff and janitorial staff there and other items be approved, and that the library have some sort of table or place for signups. This is getting long. And post something to explain all the wonderful things that have happened in our library this year. That was a long motion. Could I have a motion to that effect, please?
I so move.
A second on that, please?
Second, I second.
Are there any amendments to that very long motion?
I thought it was very inclusive.
I took notes. Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
I'm going to oppose.
Okay,
I
would you
certainly
note that
respect-
down? Whoever's noting that down, please note it. And any abstentions? I believe the motion carries. Not unanimous, but it did carry. Are there any other items that we need to bring up? They're the only agenda items that I see. Hearing none, could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Sure.
Okay, I need one person. One person, so move. Oh, come on.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Okay,
And
can I have
The move and then. Dana
Okay,
wants a second,
second.
I believe.
okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. Have a
everyone.
good morning. Stay
out
safe.
there.
Have a good day.
Bye.